Hey everybody, it's Albert Pereira, and I'm a veteran realtor of 25 years working with EXP Realty here in beautiful Kamloops, British Columbia. And in this video, we'll discuss the market statistics for the Kamloops and District Real Estate Association for November 2020. So let's start with the Real Estate Board's press release and a message from our president. The Kamloops real estate market remains red hot. November saw sales 40% higher than November 2019, and with 262 homes changing hands, a 10-year high was set, besting 2017's mark of 217 sales. The key insights were 262 units sold. This was the best November performance for Kamloops real estate in the last decade. Single family, 149 homes yet again sold the most in the region, and 93 multifamily listings were sold. We were down to only 1,002 active listings at the end of November. Now, in the press release, our president said that the market will continue to be affected by low supply into the new year as the remarkable demand has brought down the cumulative inventory levels to all-time lows through all of 2020. According to Runji, due to the continued lack of inventory, the average prices have risen by double digits throughout BC, and I think that in the new year, people wanting to sell their homes will feel more at ease to do so, as we're seeing more of a light at the end of the tunnel with all the uncertainties that we faced in 2020 starting to ease. This should help our inventory levels bounce back, and while still likely being a seller's market for quite some time, as the demand is still pent up, we should see the market trending towards more balanced by the end of 2021. Let's get started with the overall numbers for those of you who don't want to get into the nitty-gritty figures. The year-to-date numbers, 2020 versus 2019, our units sold is down 2.5% at 1,653, but our average sales price is up 9.8% at 541,000. Dollar volume is up 3.1%, and the number of new listings is at 2,377 year to date versus 2,410. The average days on the market is 61 versus 54. Now for November, the number of units sold was 149, and that's up a whopping 28.4%, and the average price November over November of last year is up 12.9% at 593,000. Dollar volume is up also a whopping 45% at 88.4 million, and the number of new listings is down 142 versus 150. The average days on market is 65 versus 61. And for the multifamily segment of the market, which includes townhouses, apartments, full duplexes, half duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes in the Kamloops and District Real Estate Association, the number of units sold was 93 for November versus November 2019, and that was up a whopping 72.2%. The average sales price is up 12.9% at 374,000, and dollar volume for the month was up 94.4% at 34.8 million. New listings is up 93 versus 76, and the average days on market is 95 versus 67. The number of units sold year to date is 885, and that represents a 12.8% increase year to date versus 2019. The average sales price is up 361,000, 6.4% versus 2019. Dollar volume is up 20.1%, and the number of new listings is at 1,247 versus 1,021, and the average days on market year to date 2020 is 64 versus 47 in 2019. Now, I'm sure some of you are saying, well, what does that all mean, Al? Well, it means that prices are up, inventory is down, and we don't have a lot of inventory if you're looking as a buyer. So it's a difficult time if you're a buyer, but it's a great time to be a seller because there's not much for sale and prices are on the rise. Now we'll dig into more detailed numbers here year over year so you get a better sense of what's been happening versus 2011. And you can see that in terms of sales activity, 2011 we had 118 sales, and now we have 214. I mean, that's a big increase for the month of November. In terms of listings, we're pretty static at 214 in 2011 and 211 in 2019, and we're at 207 now. So we're sitting pretty steady there, but the sales activity has increased a great deal. Now, in terms of active listings, there is only 510 listings currently on the market available for viewing, and compare that to 1,245 in 2011, and you can definitely see why it's a seller's market. The number of months of inventory, that is how many months it would take to deplete the total amount of inventory on the market for single family homes, is down to just 2.4% versus 12.4 in 2012, and that is a remarkably low number. This is the average price and median price over the years, starting in 2011. And as you can see, we were in sort of the 300 to 350 range, and we've climbed into the 550 range and 450 range for median price. Now, in terms of sales activity November year to date, there's been 2,137 sales versus 1,560, and we discussed that in the original part of the numbers in our overall stats. And the number of new listings is at 2,974, but compare that to 2012, where we had 3,464. So again, it's definitely a seller's market. November year to date, active listings is just 665 versus a historical average of about 1,200. And the months of inventory is at 3.4% for November year to date. Now, in terms of the overall sales volume and numbers, you can see them here. I'm not going to bore you by spelling it all out, but you could hit pause on your screen right now and see the stats versus November of these previous years, going back to 2010. And these are the numbers compared to November of 2010 all the way through as well. Now, single family market activity for November only, we're at 106, new listings at 111, active listings 205, and the months of inventory is only 1.9%, and this is the single family category. So if you're looking to sell a single family home, actually any segment of the market, it's a great time to sell, and there's a lot of buying pressure because there isn't much to look at overall. This is an average and median price for single family homes only, and as you can see, it's climbed pretty dramatically in just the last few months. And this all has to do with, I think, COVID and people wanting to move from larger centers into smaller cities. And you can see that spike is that's pretty dramatic. So that was my first attempt at a market stats video for YouTube and for the general public. And I hope you got some useful tidbits out of the whole thing. In the future, I might make it a little bit shorter, but I thought some people want a lot of data, some people don't. And I thought I'd start with the overall picture at the beginning of the video so people wouldn't have to hear me drone on and on about the numbers. I hope you got value out of this video, and if I can help you, please reach out. My contact information is in the show notes below and at the end of this video. Thanks for watching.